Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another Watch with Nordic live commentary stream here today. We got a great one here tonight between the Minnesota Wild and the Seattle. Excited about this stream here tonight. First off, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the stream. It's great to have you guys here. So, a fun little tidbit about these two teams. We have streamed both of these teams before last season. And in that game last year, the Minnesota Wild defeated the Kraken in what was once XL Energy Center, now Grand Casino Arena, 4-0. Philip Gustafson started that game and got his first shutout in live commentary history. And it was one of the first shutouts in Watch with Nordic history there as well. So we are beyond excited here tonight to get started here for the second game in live commentary history between these two teams. So let's get ready to get underway here. How's everybody doing? What's up, Rafe? How's it going? Sorry for the lag at the beginning. Really need to figure out what's going on with that. Again, we're going to do some changes here in 2026 to make the streams a lot better. But yeah, there was a lot of lag at the beginning. It looks like the stream has caught itself up, but it does not like when it has other tabs open on my computer. It only likes when this is on, which is fine. But regardless, we're getting ready to get started here in just a moment. Starting goaltenders here for tonight for both sides. In net for Minnesota, you have Philip Gustafson facing off against Joey Dackard. I believe those are the two starting goaltenders tonight. Yeah, it looks like Gustafson's in net for Seattle, or for Minnesota. And then in net for Seattle is going to be Philip Grubauer. So I stand corrected. It's actually going to be Philip Grubauer who is playing tonight, not Joey Dackard. So my apologies, unless if Daily Faceoff is lying to me. I guess we'll find out. So if Grubauer's playing, this will be his third Watch with Nordic stream that he's played in. His numbers have improved. He does have a win. Kraken are wearing their alternate jerseys tonight. Yes, Philip Grubauer is in that. So it's Grubauer versus Gustafson here tonight. Kraken are wearing their third alternate jerseys, the glow-in-the-dark themed ones. So this one should be a very fun matchup tonight. And then looking at your starting goaltender stats, Philip Grubauer 4-0-1 in 5 starts this season, a 2.63 goals against average. On the other side, Philip Gustafson playing in his 19th game this year, a 7-8-3 record, a 2.76 goals against average, and a .905 save percentage with the Minnesota Wild. It's Lane Lambert versus John Hines in the coaching battle/duel here tonight. This is the first of 3 meetings between these two teams this season here as well. It is the second time they have played in a live commentary stream. Here we go. Minnesota versus Seattle is underway. Faceoff is won by the Kraken. They'll take it back into their own zone. Minnesota pressuring them heavily to start. Down low, Danila Yurov tried feeding that one to Kaprizov. Kraken intercepted, and they'll race for it down the other way. Puck goes into the Minnesota zone. Seattle gets it back, and it's blown dead for offsides. So both these teams looking to get back in the win column. Minnesota suffering a loss against Vancouver. Seattle suffering a loss against Detroit on Saturday night. So both these teams looking to get back into the win column after losses on Saturday. Wild with the puck here now in their own zone. Zuccarello on the right side will feed a pass up to center. Jonas Brodin brings it into the zone. He'll dump that one in down low. Behind the net now, Beniers will bank it back off the boards. Seattle's got it to center. Larson clears it down low. He'll battle for it alongside Jacob Middleton, and Minnesota will get that one back. Zuccarello to Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek will dump that one into the zone. It goes in on Grubauer. He will make the save and cover that one up as the whistle blows. Minnesota with their first shot on net on that play. Not even really an actual shot. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. To stream number 122. We will be live tonight for this one. We will also be live on Thursday this week for games. And then we will be live till the following Monday. Face-off now won by Minnesota. Boldy trying to take that one down low. He's knocked down to the ground. Delayed penalty now against Seattle. Minnesota with the puck. Kraken will touch it. And we will get our first power play of the game just over a minute in. It is going to be on Chandler Stevenson, who will head to the box. And Minnesota will get the first power play of the night. So we'll have more on that information from the game that was played back in March between these two teams in Watch with Nordic History. Again, we love to keep track of the stats, keep track of the history. It's our favorite thing to do. So we will be talking more about that here tonight as well. Face-off now in the Seattle zone. Power play for the Wild. Their power play ranks 10th in the NHL. Seattle's PK a whopping 32nd in the NHL as well. So one of the best versus one of the worst. And the Wild go off sides as they could not keep the puck in their own zone. And yeah, Seattle's PK has mightily struggled here over the last couple of weeks. Dead last in the NHL. Not the numbers you want. Face-off now outside the Seattle zone is won by the Wild. Kaprizov plays it back down low then for Faber. Brock Faber holds it now for Minnesota. Drops it back. Taking it through center now is Boldy. Boldy will bring it in. Down low. Kaprizov a shot. It's gloved by Grubauer. And a nice stop there by Philip Grubauer, who last season was really, really bad, but this year has been playing really well with Seattle. Again, only 4 starts up to this point. This one's his 5th. Face-off here now again in the Seattle zone. Minnesota still pressuring on their power play. Battling forward here in the corner, and the Kraken will clear it the other way. Faber behind the Minnesota net. Faber moves it through the zone. He'll drop it back then to Boldy. Boldy past the center. Racing forward into the zone is Lindgren. Battling forward, Eric's neck. Pass in front. And Kaprizov can't get the shot on Grubauer clearly. And now they'll battle forward here behind the net. Halfway through the power play. Down low. Trying to take that one is Beniers. He'll clear that one around behind the net. Back over then for Tolvanen, who will clear back out to center. Now 45 seconds left to go on the Minnesota power play. Boldy will move this one through center. Passes it into the zone. Kaprizov in all alone. Save! And it was Hartman who was on that shot, not Kaprizov. But what a stop by Grubauer. And the puck is cleared down the other way by Seattle. Shots are 4-0 in favor of Minnesota with 20 seconds to go on the Wild power play. Zeev Boyum drops it back. Into the zone now, Johansson. Former Seattle Kraken, Marcus Johansson, will battle forward here now in the corner. Seattle does get it back. They will clear out the center, and that will do it for the Minnesota power play. A good kill by Seattle. Minnesota did get their chances, but none went past Grubauer. Here's Boyum now behind the Minnesota net. Stolen back then by a Kraken as Boyum's stick shatters. Wild trying to keep it in here. It's cleared out to the point. Racing for it now is Tarasenko. Back into the zone. Chasing for it then down low. Tarasenko feeds it behind the net. Now Bogosian will play it down low. Zach Bogosian trying to get that one out to center. Will backhand that one. And Seattle steals it right back and dumps it down low. But Kraken don't have a lot of energy with that kill just now ending. Here's Brodin. Clears out the center. Racing for it then into the zone is Ogren. A chance! And Sturm is denied by Grubauer as the puck goes back behind the net. Beniers trying to take that one down low. It's stolen over then by Montour. Brandon Montour, former Florida Panther. Battling with Ryan Lindgren now on the right side. Puck is banked back up to the point. Ogren down low for Trennan. Trennan can't keep it in the zone. Minnesota trying to get that one back. Middleton on the right side. Shots are 5-0 in favor of the Wild. They have broken the ice here so far, but still 0-0. Lindgren behind the net to Montour. Montour will clear out to center. Stolen back then by Brodin, who attempts to bank it off the boards. Now at the point, Nyman will clear it back down low. And over then for Shane Wright, who feeds up to the point. A shot. And that one is blocked in front. Now down low, Middleton will battle for it. Wright's there as well. Intercepted there by Nyman. A shot is denied. And poke checked back out and into the Seattle zone. Neiman dumps it into the zone. Stolen back then by the Wild. Through the zone, Urov. Over to Kaprizov. Kaprizov trying to get that one across the Seattle line. Kraken will clear it right back out. And Minnesota trying to break it back in here, but they're tied up. Kraken get it back. Montour. Pass up to Stevenson. Through the zone. Kakko could not get that pass. He does get it back and dumps it into the Minnesota zone. But the Wild get it right back, and now they will regroup. Out to center. Urov. Into the zone of Kaprizov. Kaprizov pass cross ice in front. Faber can't get the shot. Rebounds there. And they fan on that one as well. Seattle gets it back. Stevenson now thrown back out then for Neiman, who races into the zone. He'll get to it first in the corner. What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. Zuccarello to Eriksson Ek now. 2-on-2 the other way as Eriksson Ek will dump it into the zone. Now battling forward here in the corner. I'm pulling for Minnesota. We haven't done the Wild that much. I'm hoping they can get a win here in a stream. We've already seen Seattle win twice, so I want to see the Wild get a win. Seattle will clear it back into the Minnesota zone. Now Spurgeon on the right side, plays it back down low. Pass to center then, Johansson. Into the zone with Eriksson Ek, drops it back. Bogosian into the zone. Wade shoots it, and it goes wide. What a play from Zach Bogosian. One of the few Atlanta Thrashers who are still in the NHL. And yes, you heard that right. There's not a lot of them left, but there are some. Here come the Wild back into the zone. Hartman trying to dangle that one down low. Hartman behind the net, feeds it up to the point. Now behind the net. And Wild keep the puck. Kaprizov a shot. And that one is swiftly blocked. Now pick up by Kakko. He'll pass it up then to Wright. Wright with some room. Circles back around. Banks it off the boards. Now down low to the corner. Brodin steals it back. And now Kaprizov tried to get that puck, but it went back into the Seattle zone. Neiman. Pass to Kakko is intercepted there as Minnesota gets it right back. Brodin to Kaprizov. Kaprizov through the zone with some room now. A shot. And he can't get that one clear. No streams tomorrow or Wednesday. Got Royals on Wednesday. Work tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday. Here come the Kraken. 2-on-2 the other way. Beniers moving to center. Pass down low. It goes up in the air, and Minnesota bats it back out of the zone, and Seattle picks it up. Eberle intercepted there by Sperm. Sperm brings it in. A shot. Save rebound there on Grubauer as poke checked away. Now down low, Trennan tries deking around Eberle. Eberle trying to clear this one out of the zone. He's still battling for that puck. And finally, he does get it free. Eberle. Pass back down low then to Dunn. Shots are 6-0 in favor of Minnesota here in this opening period. We're almost halfway through. Seattle without a shot here on Philip Gustafsson. Spurgeon back to Eriksson Ek. Now Boldy on the right side. Pass out to center. And Seattle gets it back and dumps it down low. Johansson. Fed up then to Brodin. Now Eriksson Ek into the zone. Back to Boldy. Boldy with some room. A shot. Saved by Grubauer. And it's kicked ahead then for the Kraken. Kept in by Johansson. And now it slides around behind the net. Cadden clears out to center. Boldy gets it back, but it's blown dead for offsides. Shots are 7-0 here in favor of Minnesota. They've had a lot of the pressure, exactly all the pressure so far tonight. It's 0-0 so far, though. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. That would be very much so appreciated. We are trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. We're almost 80 away. We are getting closer and closer as the days go along. So all the support is greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you. don't know why the stream quality is like going down weirdly. The FPS is going down when there's nothing open. Really strange. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great day so far. So we won't be live, unfortunately, until Thursday this week. So sadly, you guys won't be able to see a commentary stream from me until Thursday again. Unfortunately, I would love to do more, but sadly, with the current, got to work and stuff, won't be able to do another one until Thursday. So that's the plan. I don't know why the quality really is just not cooperating with me right now. Part of it could be my internet. Wild since November 1st. 1.8 goals against per game. 5 shutouts. Oh, man. Yeah, Minnesota led by Jesper Wallstedt, who I wanted to get into a stream tonight, but unfortunately I was unable to because he played against Vancouver on Saturday. We'll try again at some point. Don't worry. We'll get Gustafsson into Wallstedt into a live stream. He has not streamed one yet. He has not been in a stream yet. Here's Faber now, the right side, banks it into the boards. Racing for it then is Boldy. Picked up by Lindgren now down low. Lindgren on the right side, played back now into the corner. Lindgren clears it around up to the point then for Tolvanen. And the Kraken will break it down the other way with some speed. Montour into the zone. Drops it back. Marchment passes the center. Is blocked. Eberle gets it back though at the point of shot. And a chance there from Stevenson also goes wide. Almost halfway through the opening period. Still a 0-0 game. Montour pass to center. A shot there from Marchment denied by Gustafsson. Puck will slide free. Back now down low to the corner. And up to the point, Montour. Montour slap shot. Goes up and on Gustafsson, and he sticks that one away. Now down low, Brock Faber. Behind the Minnesota net. Plays it back to Eriksson Ek. Faber. Cleared out to center. Wild will take it back into their own zone to regroup as we approach the halfway mark here in this first period. Spurgeon. Banks it off the board. Seattle does get it back. Shot there from Winterton is denied by Gustafsson on the first shot for Seattle tonight. And Ryan Winterton, one of the fourth-line forwards on the Kraken, who has been a good acquisition. He's satisfied Lane Lambert here for a full-time spot on this team. And as a Lambert fan, guess you can't complain. Shots are 7-1 here through this first period. 4 other games going on in the NHL right now. Currently, one of them is about to conclude. And then there is a 9 p.m. game and another 10 p.m. game alongside this one. Detroit and Vancouver. Thought about doing that one, but I decided we haven't done Minnesota in a while, and we haven't done Seattle in a hot minute. I want to get a Wild stream in, because we haven't done the Wild since, I think, like mid-October, and I wanted to get them in here for a stream. Got to try and get all 32. So in commercial break here, shots are 7-2 in favor of the Wild. Face-off going to come here now inside of the Seattle zone, or the Minnesota zone. Oh, wow. Showing off the 2019-20 Milwaukee Admirals. Frederick Gaudreau and Eli Tolvanen were both on that team. That's cool. And now they're teammates here in Seattle. Face off now in the Minnesota zone. It'll be Trennan versus Wright. And puck is won by Wright. At the point, a shot is blocked there at the point then from Mahura. Now skating it down low is Evans. Evans to Mahura. Back then to Wright, a shot. And it goes wide. And kept in the zone still, though, by Seattle. Neiman battling for it now on the right side. Clears it down low into the corner. Now Hartman will bank it off the boards behind the net. And Spurgeon will clear back out to center. Now coming into the Seattle zone. Cleared around the right side. Wild battling for it. It's Evans now behind the net, who will bank it back out to center. Shane Wright behind the net. Slides the puck out in front. Here's Kakko, a chance. Saved by Gustafsson. He had room in front to get a shot on, and not a lot of Minnesota defense there. But Gustafsson makes the save on a good chance there from Kaapo Kakko as the Wild start getting, or the Kraken start getting some opportunities. And yeah, try getting that far side on Gustafsson, but didn't have enough room. That's okay. Face-off coming here now in the Wild zone. Shots are 7-4 now with 9:07 left to go. Shot off the face-off is denied. Wild will clear out to center. Kraken get it back. Larson clears it down the other way. Minnesota will pick that one up and regroup. Bogosian to Boyum. Boyum pass into the zone then for Zuccarello as Yurov will battle for it on the right side. Kaprizov takes a stick to the face, and that will be a penalty. Kaprizov got hooked pretty high up, and as a result, Vince Dunn will go to the box. And for the second time tonight already, Minnesota will head to the power play. And that might be a good thing because the Wild have been getting pressured here these last couple of minutes pretty heavily by Seattle. Power play number 2 here for Minnesota. Face-off in the Seattle zone. And it's won by the Kraken. Larson banks it off the boards now, and it's cleared all the way back into the Minnesota zone. Wild get the puck back. Behind the net now, Brock Faber. Faber through the zone. Drops it back. Boldy will bring that one in. Gets around Lindgren and back down low behind the net. Clears it up to the point. Zuccarello will move down the right side. Looks for options. Tries getting it to the front and pass off the net there. And Seattle gets it back. They'll get out to center and clear it down the other way. Shots are 7-5. Almost halfway through the power play already. Kaprizov to Zuccarello. Zuccarello waits. And a shot there denied by Grubauer. Here's Boldy now to the point to Faber. Faber waits. Boldy to Faber. To Kaprizov. A minute to go on the power play. Boldy in front. Tipped by Hartman. And that nearly went into the net. And that would have been a nice play if they could have connected that. Here's Kaprizov. Down low now for Zuccarello. Battling for it now in the corner. Seattle gets it back. They will clear down the other way with 40 seconds to go. And Minnesota is getting some puck movement here, but it's been mostly Seattle so far. Johansson into the zone now. Spurgeon drops it back up to the point. Boyum to Tarasenko. Tarasenko up to the point, waiting then Boyum. A shot denied by Grubauer, and Beniers will clear out to neutral zone. Boyum bats that down with his stick. And 10 seconds to go now on the power play. Puck is dumped into the Seattle zone. It's an icing against the Wild here on this power play. You don't see that very often. You do not see that very often whatsoever. Face-off now coming here in the Minnesota zone with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Won by the Wild. They'll try and rush it down the other way. It bounces off his skate, and that will do it. There you go. Good kill there by Seattle. Tarasenko dumps it down low into the zone. Montour battling forward here in the corner. Johansson and Hartman are poke checking for it down low. Minnesota gets it back. Seattle takes it the other way. 4-on-4. Kraken dump it into the zone. Gustafsson now behind the net. Banked off the boards. Kraken keep it in. Montour on the right side to Tolvanen. It bounces off the back of the boards and into Gustafsson's glove. And a good look there by Philip Gustafsson on a play that could have went ugly. Shots are 8-4 here in favor of Minnesota. With a face-off coming here in the Seattle zone. Or the Minnesota zone, sorry. Chandler Stevenson playing in his 600th career NHL game tonight. Face-off now in the Wild zone. Kakko versus Sturm. Puck is won back then by the Wild. Cleared off the boards then by Brodin. Out to center. Dumped down low then by Jakob Trenin. Here's Montour now behind the net. Right. Clears forward. Now Brodin battles forward here. A lot of regrouping here in this game so far. Seattle gets the puck back. They'll dump it down low to the Wild zone. Battling forward here now in the corner. Beniers to the point. Lindgren waits. Shoots it on net. It goes back now behind it. And now Trenin battling on the right side. Montour a shot. Denied by Gustafsson. Another chance is blocked there. It's kept in, though, by Montour. What a keep with his stick. Montour to the point. Lindgren waits. Back to Montour. To Lindgren, a shot. And through traffic, it goes wide. Here's Brodin now holding it in the corner. Montour now to the point. A shot is blocked by an own Kraken. And now the Wild will take it back the other way. Ogren dumps it into the zone. It's stolen back then by Seattle. A whistle is blown. And we get some altercations here between Trenin and Montour, it looks like. And we will go to commercial break. 5:15 remaining here in the first period. No goals so far. Shots are 9-5 in favor of the Wild. Saw Minnesota live in person this season. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe down below. If you're new, it'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. How is the audio and the video? Is it all good? I hope so. This is Minnesota's 10th live commentary stream tonight. So we've streamed them 10 times. They are, I believe, the 6th team to reach that remark. The 7th, actually. I stand corrected. The 7th team to reach that milestone. Seattle is at the 7th time. So we've streamed the Kraken 7 times now. Four games from Dackard, 3 games from Grubauer. What's up, Rex? How was the game last night, bro? It was a pretty damn good one, huh? 7-1. I wish it was 7-0. I wish Husso could have got the shutout, but it just wasn't meant to be. Showing off Chandler Stevenson, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. You've been lurking, got busy cooking dinner. No problem, man. Face off here now in the Seattle zone, won by the Kraken. Eberle to center. Beniers into the zone. Stevenson, what a play. Pass in front. And Eberle's not there to shoot that one in. Here's Zuccarello. Big hit there by Dunn. And the Wild did not like that. Yurov's going at it. The fans are standing up, and oh my lord. A massive scrum in the corner off that huge hit on Matt Zuccarello. He gets up and looks like he's okay. But oh my lord. What a sequence there. Lost your voice? Yeah, I believe it, man. That was a good game. And that's great that you were there too. You know, being at a game that your team blows out, it's obviously awesome. And I'm assuming there's going to be some penalties on this play. It was, I can't remember who it was that hit him. Yeah, it was Dunn who hit Zuccarello. And looking at this play, it looks like it's shoulder on shoulder. But it does look like a really rough hit. And Yurov was like, oh, I don't like that. So I'm assuming there will be some penalties here. Seattle is going to get a power play out of this, it appears. Potentially, maybe if they charge Seattle with some too, they're going to send Zuccarello to the room. They're going to check him for a concussion, which is the right thing to do. Hopefully he's okay after that hit. But in the game of hockey, that happens. I think Yurov might get an instigator penalty here. He did drop the gloves first. Play is under review. Ooh. What's up, man? Yeah, amazing Leafs game. They shut out the Lightning, didn't they? Oh, looking from that angle, that might be head contact. From the other angle I saw, it looked like it might have been shoulder on shoulder, but now that I see it. I don't know. That's hard to tell. I think it looks like it was shoulder on shoulder. If the refs determine there's head contact, there will be a 5-minute penalty on that play. Kraken commentators are saying that this should not be a 5-minute. Never take the Ducks tickets for granted. I've been there for a lot of their major home W's. Yeah, man. Never say no. You never know. You could be going to an incredible game with an incredible experience. I mean, it's always going to be fun. Even if they do lose, I'm not going to lie. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third, and here's the call. There is no major penalty on the play. So Yurov gets a double minor for roughing. And John Hines wants a word with the ref. And yeah, they're talking to each other. So Seattle will get a power play out of this with Yurov getting a double minor. And he did drop the gloves, and I totally understand that. But when you do drop the gloves in that instance, you do get a instigator rule penalty there and an interference call. So yeah, not totally surprised. And Seattle will get their first power play of the game tonight. Shots are 9-5 in favor of the Wild. And we'll see if the Kraken can get themselves on the scoring sheet here once again. Face off here in the Minnesota zone. Kraken power play. And they're waiting for the clock to update here, it looks like. They will have Ogre come into the box for Yurov. 2 young rookies on this team. Here we go. Face off. Won by the Wild. They'll take the puck. Brodin takes his time and will clear out to center. Seattle gets the puck now down low. Minnesota going with a 11-7 tonight. Here into the zone. Kraken now behind the net. Beniers plays it up to the point. Seattle power play ranks 22nd. Minnesota PK ranks 15th. Montour. Pass to center. Montour waits. Down low now to Beniers. Beniers to the point. Montour a shot. And it goes wide of Gustafsson. And back down low as Eber loses his glove. He gets it back. And kept in the zone by Montour. Minnesota will steal it back. They'll clear out to center. Here's Beniers. Dekes it into the zone. Beniers with some room. Feeds it up to the point to Montour as Kraken set up once again. Already halfway through the power play. Beniers to Montour. A shot. And it goes off of Gustafsson, or a Minnesota defender, and back into the Seattle zone as Minnesota clears it the other way. Minnesota has not given up a power play goal in 9 straight games. So tonight could be a first. Here come the Kraken into the zone. Pass over then for Wright. A shot into the chest of Gustafsson. Gustafsson with one of the best save percentages in live commentary streams. He's played 9 games in live commentary streams. 3-4-1, a 2.5 goals against average, but a 918 save percentage. For a guy who has played nearly 10 commentary streams, having a 918 is pretty damn good. When you take into account that the next best guy with a save percentage of that remark is a 909. Puck is dumped back into the Seattle zone. Kraken will hold the puck. 25 seconds to go on the man advantage. Evans drops it back. Seattle here now through the zone. Wright into the zone. Drops it back over then for Evans. Evans back down low to Wright. Wright looking for options. Time winding down. Tolvanen to the point. Evans back to Tolvanen. Tolvanen down low then for Wright. Wright circling with the puck. Into the zone, a pass over is intercepted. Wright gets it back. Poke checking is the Wild. Power play is over. And a good kill there regardless by Minnesota, not giving Seattle a ton of chances. 2.5 minutes to go here in the first period. Kakko behind the Seattle net. Pass in front denied. And a shot there for Tolvanen is kicked away as well. Evans battling for it in the corner alongside Trennan. Marchment racing for that puck. It's cleared out to center. Trennan now back then over for Brodin, who will clear that one into the zone. And Seattle will regroup with that puck. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Minnesota. Gaudreau dumps it into the zone, trying to get around Bogosian now, battling for it here in the corner. Gaudreau down low as well. Now Ryan Hartman picks it up. Cleared it out then to Kaprizov. Kaprizov here through center ice. Feeds a pass to nobody, and it's picked up then again by Seattle. Lindgren off the boards. Cleared into the Seattle zone. Banked off the right side and back into the Minnesota end where Kaprizov has the puck. Kaprizov looks for options. Now down low, Hartman to the front. And it's poke checked away by Grubauer. Nice play. And here come the Kraken the other way. Winterton dumps it into the zone. Now Beniers races for it. Faber spins around him now. Down low, back then for Brodin on the right side. And back out then for Eberle here at center. Approaching the last minute of play in the first period. Montour into the zone. Loses the puck, gains it right back. To the point, a shot. And a glove save by Gustafsson. And the shots are even now with 1:04 left to go. Hey, Rex with a $10 donation. Thanks for covering the Ducks Masterclass in Domination, man. I just noticed my super chat from yesterday didn't send. So here's another. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate you giving me some cash. Shout out to Rex in the chat, guys. He's been a supporter here for a little bit. Started after that Ducks video I made, right? Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Seriously. Last minute of play in the first period. Shot from the point from Montour. Goes wide. Here's Boldy now over then for Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek into the zone. Takes it wide. A shot there off the netting. And now battling forward here in the corner. Hartman with Stevenson. 45 seconds to go and counting down. Seattle with the puck. 2-on-2 the other way. Marchment for Tolvanen. Marchment gets back. Tolvanen can't get the shot on. Pass in front. And it bounces off a Wild and out of the zone. Now Larson. Over then for Dunn, who will dump it into the zone. Now Middleton here on the right side. Picked back up then by Eriksson Ek. Through to Marcus Johansson. Johansson trying to hold that puck. 20 seconds left. Boldy In the corner, pass to Hartman. Hartman a backhand. It's blocked by a Kraken. And here's one last chance for Seattle. Kakko with some room into the zone. 10 seconds left. Back to Marchment, who waits. 3 seconds left. Pass in front. And it deflects off of a Wild in front and out of play. And that will do it for the first period here tonight. No goals scored in that opening period. It's 0-0. That being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack. Go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We'll be back for the start of the second period momentarily. Wild or Kraken. I hope the Wild get it tonight, honestly. I want to see them get a win. YouTube finally came through with an awesome creator. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I know. YouTube sucks sometimes with the way that they, like, recommend people or whatever. It sucks. All right, that being said, I'm going to go get a couple bottles of water. I forgot to do that here again. And I just accidentally turned off my PS5, so that's fun. Oops. So I'll be right back, guys. All right, I have returned. Hammering Wild. Let's hope you're right. Oh, I really screwed up my PS5. That's not good. That's not good. All right, waiting for the FPS quality to get better here. Water and some pistachios. Ooh, I haven't had pistachios in a while. It's been a long time. All right. Loaded my PS5 back up after accidentally unplugging it with my foot. Eagles beating the Chargers now? Shit. People love to overreact way too fast about the about some NFL games. People are like, "Oh, it's over after the second quarter," and then it's most definitely not over. Hope the Kraken can win so the Ducks can snuff some of that momentum out over here in Anaheim. Yeah. Anyway, the Ducks can get an advantage in this one. As the quality of the stream trying to get back to normal. It's been really weird. FPS giving me problems. As per usual. It always does. So, I got something cool to tell you guys. So, there is a deal. So, I'm from Pennsylvania, okay? And there's a team, a baseball team that is not that far from me called the Reading Fighting Phils. And they were holding a Christmas discount for where you could get general admission tickets to all of their home games this season. One of them for one ticket to all games this season for $100. So you know what your boy did? He bought it. He bought our Phils season tickets for $100. Reading Fighting Phils season tickets. I am so hype. Just one seat for me to go whenever I damn well please. And then obviously I could buy another one for my girlfriend whenever she wants to come or something like that. But I am so excited. I can't believe I have season tickets for a baseball team. I'm so flippin' hype. Like, that's like a hell of a freaking deal. And we might get another one, too, because maybe we'll get two seats. But, like, again, it's general admission. I understand that. But all of the games for $100, I can just get in for free every single time, essentially. So it's 69 home games. That's $1.44 a game. That's hella good value. Not only that, I can like give my family tickets and stuff. It'll be cheaper when I want to go to games just by myself. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. All games covered for $100. Yeah, I know. And I don't even care. Like, it's double A. It's double A baseball, but like, man, like I did that like 30 minutes before I streamed here tonight. I am just like so pumped. First game's April 7th. I might not be live at all that week. I might not be live at all that week. Yeah, I'm so pumped. But anyway, let's go over the scores around the NHL currently. There again are 4 games total tonight. Let's start off with the game that is over, and that is Tampa Bay and Toronto. 2-0 final there for the Maple Leafs. Morgan Riley and Austin Matthews with the goals. And the Maple Leafs got a shutout win there, and that's absolutely huge. Mammoth and the Kings, 2-0, 2-1 Kings. In that game there, that's in Los Angeles. Sabres and Flames, 5-3 Calgary in the second period. Red Wings Canucks is 1-0 Red Wings at the end of 20. That's all the games tonight. AA Baseball, I used to watch the Trash City Pandas during lockout. It was one of the few venues I could hit during that time. Yeah. I mean, like, again, like, and you're seeing some of, like, the Phillies of tomorrow, the baseball players of tomorrow. Like, there's a lot of guys who have went through that system and have played for the Reading Phils. For example, Jackie Robinson, Milt Schmidt, Ryan Sandberg, who recently just passed away, but they have a couple of other guys who have like played on those teams too. So like I'm really excited. Like just like go to a baseball game. Like I honestly almost enjoy it more than hockey. Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's also a great experience too. Like it's just like outdoors. You know, it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. Minor league baseball is more enjoyable than Angels baseball. Yeah, that's right. You're from Anaheim. Yeah, I feel for you, man. The Angels have not been a good team, like at all, in the last like 10 years, especially with like Shohei performing so well. And man, like I don't want to be mean, and this isn't me being mean. You might agree, but you guys really are like wasting away Mike Trout's career, and it really does stink. Like I don't want to be an asshole, but it's kind of true, bro. I just got to be blunt with you. Shots in that period, 10-8 in favor of Minnesota. So I will update that here really quick. I agree, man, 100%. Okay, good. I didn't want to. I'm not like trying to be mean by it. Should have a Phillies Mike Trout jersey. I would love to get a Phillies Mike Trout jersey. I hope someday he realizes I won a championship and just decides to go back home because he's from around here. About 5 minutes until the start of the second. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. We've been doing really well recently with the content, so I really appreciate it, guys. I think we might be able to hit it. It's going to be close and it's going to be a grind, but I got faith. In all honesty, I might skip Angels games next season just to save more bucks to spend on Ducks games. Yeah, man. That might be a good idea. But going to a baseball game in general would be awesome. Baseball is fun. It's the sport I played the most growing up. I'll just stick to giveaway game and when the Angels give out their hockey jersey. Oh, yeah. Phillies don't do that, sadly. Can't go too long without watching Zach Nino pull a trick out of his bag on defense. Yep. Yep. All right. Almost ready for the start of the second period here in just a couple of minutes. Here from Seattle. Hope you guys like the graphic. It's an updated one from the one we previously did. Again, fun fact about these two teams. Obviously, we did this matchup before. It was on March 19th, 2025, last season, when the Kraken took on the Wild in XL Energy Center, was once then XL Energy Center, now Grand Casino Arena. Do the Flyers have merchandise made by Violent Gentlemen? Probably. Oh wait, the brand? I don't know. No, I've never heard of that actually. So going back to on March, not March 26th. No, it was March 13th or March 12th. Right? March 19th? I know it was a Wednesday game. So going back to the last time we saw these two teams play, on March 19th, 2025, we commentated Minnesota versus Seattle in that game. Philip Grubauer started, Gustafsson started, so kind of a good parallel to this game. In that first period, Ryan Hartman, Matt Boldy, and Liam Ogren scored the goals. Liam Boldy picked up a second goal in the third period, an empty netter at that, to make it a 4-0 win for the Minnesota Wild in that commentary stream. Philip Gustafsson stopped 34 saves on 34 shots and had a 1 save percentage, a perfect save percentage, and won the game for Minnesota. And that was the last time these two teams played in a live commentary stream of mine. And let's get ready here to start the third period from Seattle. A little late to the game tonight. Love what you're doing, man. Let's go Wild. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, brother. You're better late than never. That's what I always like to say. All right. And Cal Rowley's in the arena. Big Dumper led the AL in home runs, broke some records for the Mariners. And look at that, he's gobbling up a hot dog right now live on camera. Welcome to Seattle, Cal Rowley. All right, getting ready here for the second period in Seattle. First period recap, it was no goals scored. Some power plays, shots were 10-8 in that first period. Hits were tied 7-7, block shots were 9-3 in favor of the Wild. And the faceoffs were in favor of Seattle with a 56%. Officials talking to both benches here after some pushing and shoving there in that first period. Maybe the officials were trying to say, hey, if there's any bad stuff, we're going to call it. And here we go. Second period, Seattle versus Minnesota. And we are underway. Face-off is won here now by Seattle. They dump it back into the Minnesota zone. Played around now behind the net. Beniers. Down low then to Eberle. Eberle battling for it down low. He gets kicked off then by Faber on the right side. Cleared out to center then. Intercepted by Seattle. Chance in front. Save by Gustafsson on Eberle on the right side. Here come the Wild with speed the other way. Tarasenko to Kaprizov. Kaprizov a shot. And that one goes up and back in front of the net. Seattle does get it right back, though. Some huge chances there already. Minnesota dumps it back into their own zone. Shots are 11-9 in favor of the Wild. Into the zone now is Middleton, who backhands it down low. Cleared back behind the net then for Eriksson Ek. Boldy banks it off the boards at the point of shot. And it goes wide as there was a collision there in front. Grubauer is okay. Middleton now a backhand. And denied there by Grubauer. Rebound is there. But Seattle does steal it back. Wild try holding that puck in. It's taken back then by the Wild, and they dump it back into the zone. Boldy battling for it now alongside Montour. Boldy in front, and they score! Eriksson Ek, I think, got that puck in front. And it's a 1-0 lead here for Minnesota in the second period. So the Wild strike first with the first goal of the game tonight. Eriksson Ek there with a nice pass in front by Matt Boldy. Gets it through the 5-hole of Philip Grubauer. And it is now a 1-0 lead for the Wild here in the second period. Face-off coming here now at center ice. 18:40 left to go in the second period. Wild with the opening goal. Eriksson Ek, his 5th of the season. Assisted by Boldy and Middleton. It's a 1-0 lead for the Wild. Johansson now clears out to center. Here comes Minnesota the other way. 2-on-1 into the zone. As Ogren is tied up there now behind the net. And a high stick to the face on Eriksson Ek. He scores a goal. Now he draws a penalty. And Minnesota will go to the power play as Eriksson Ek took a stick to the face. He appears to be all right. And the Wild will get their 3rd power play of the game once again. As I try and load back into the game, it's very blurry for some weird reason. I think I fixed it. Maybe. Minnesota power play. It's Kakko to the box for high sticking. And the Wild will get a second opportunity here on the power play. Face-off is won by Minnesota. Faber now at the point. Pass back over then to Tarasenko. Tarasenko over then in front. Intercepted there by Seattle. They will clear it down the other way. Flames are winning tonight. It's good to hear. Good to hear your team's getting a win tonight. My team didn't play. Well, one of mine is. Here's Boldy. Into the zone now. Kaprizov battling forward here on the right side. Puck will slide back out to the neutral zone. And Minnesota picks the puck up. Kaprizov down the right side. Deeks into the zone. Pass in front. And Eriksson Ek fans on the shot. Boldy to Kaprizov. Kaprizov drops it back to Faber. Faber doesn't shoot it. Waits. Pass in front. Save. Rebounds there. It's in the crease. They're jabbing at it. Kaprizov gets it back in front. And it's cleared away by Seattle. Halfway through the power play. Kraken off the boards. Eriksson Ek with some room. A shot. Save by Grubauer. Puck is cleared back up to the point. Boldy waits. Down low now to Boyum. Boyum to Kaprizov in front. Save. Rebound. And Eriksson Ek with another chance. It goes wide. Boldy now with it on the right side. Trying to hold that puck here on the power play. 30 seconds to go. Boyum moves in. Shoots it. And it's blocked in front. Kraken will clear the other way. Shots are now 14-9 in favor of the Wild. As the Wild keep getting the pressure on. Johansson played back then down low for Spurgeon, who gets the puck. Cleared around back up through the zone, and Minnesota cannot keep that one in. Now Boyum. Boyum on the right side will drop it back. Here's Hartman through the zone. Will bounce that one off the boards down low now. Picking it up is Urov. Power play is over. And it's cleared back out to center. Racing forward into the Minnesota zone now is Beniers. Sends a pass in front. Saved by Gustafsson on Eberle. This is the first of 3 meetings between these two teams here this season. They will play once in January and then once in April. And they changed the assist on the Eriksson Ek goal. It's only Matt Boldy with that assist. So a big difference there. Boldy's been a really good point producer for the Minnesota Wild and Watch with Nordic Streams. 13 points now, which ranks tied for 15th in the all-time stats. Down low now here in the corner. Ogren will keep trying to jab at that puck. Down low now, Trennan clears it up to the point here in the Seattle zone. Brodin shot. It's blocked off of a Kraken player. It's kept in, though, by Minnesota. Down low, Ogren. On the right side, pass up to the point. Brodin shot, tipped in front. And Evans will clear that one back away. And now banked out to center as the Wild will regroup. Shots are 16-10. Breaking it in then on the right side, a shot. Goes wide of Grubauer on a good chance there from Ogren. Now on the right side, Yurov pokes it ahead. Wild keep it in. Bogosian dumps it back down low. Now Ogren up to the point. Battling forward alongside Yurov. Puck will go down low. Now Jake Evans will pick it up. Shots here 16-10 in favor of Minnesota. Kaprizov into the zone. Now skates it behind the net. Will hold the puck and look for options. Pass in front. And it does not get through. It'll go down the other way with 14:40 remaining. Tarasenko. Pass forward now into the zone. In front, Kaprizov. Can't get the shot on. It was poke checked away there by Seattle. Tarasenko gets it back. Fed in front. Intercepted there by Seattle. Stevenson will take it back into his own zone here and handle the puck. Dunn to center. Stevenson with some room. Brings it into the zone. Skates back up to the point, a shot. And that one is swiftly blocked. Here come the Wild. Bogosian will dump this one down low. Now Dunn behind the net. Delayed penalty here for Minnesota. As somebody was tripped down low in the corner, and Montour getting into it with Boldy. And Seattle will get a power play here. But first, into the zone, Cartier drops it back then to Beniers. Beniers battling forward in the corner, gets it up to the point. Gaudreau on the right side, trying to get around Boldy. He does successfully, looking for options. A shot! And that one goes up and all the way back down the other way. And Seattle will regroup here still with a delayed penalty. Montour trying to settle the puck the other way. It goes through Gaudreau's feet. And the Wild touch it. And now Seattle will head to the power play. I'm not sure who got the penalty initially, but it looks like it's going to be on the Wild here regardless. And it's going to be Matt Boldy, who will go to the box for tripping with 13:20 left to go in the second period. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the stream down below too. It helps out with bringing more people in here. And I would greatly appreciate it, of course. Coming up here on Wednesday is a Watch with Nordic memory. On December 10th, 2024, we live stream Devils and Maple Leafs, followed by Panthers and Kraken. The Maple Leafs won that game 2-1 against New Jersey in overtime. Austin Matthews scoring the overtime winning goal. And then Panthers and Kraken went to the first shootout in Watch with Nordic commentary history. And the Florida Panthers got that win. Interesting to note, Austin Matthews, his overtime winner in that game was the second ever overtime winner in a live commentary stream. And the first Maple Leaf to do it. So for those who follow along with that stuff, of course. That's what's up. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we will be live for... what's the plan on Thursday? We'll be live for Hurricanes, Capitals, followed by Avalanche, Panthers on Wednesday, on Thursday. My brain just did not compute. Kraken will go on their second power play here of the game tonight. 13:20 left to go here in the second period. Chandler Stevenson in his 600th career game looking to tie this one up. Face off. Here now in the Minnesota zone. And it's won back then by Seattle at the point. Dunn to center. Dunn to McCann on the right side. In front, they score! Jordan Eberle tucks it in on the power play. And we have a tie hockey game here in Seattle. A power play goal for Jordan Eberle. A power play that definitely needed it here tonight. And what a win there. McCann off the draw to the point. He gets that one down low. And a nifty pass in front that might have gone off Eberle. It might have gone off Brodin. It looks like it did go off of Jordan Eberle. I'm not sure if it touched somebody else in front. But Eberle, his 9th goal of the season. And we are tied. Fun little tidbit on Eberle. That is his 5th goal he scored in a commentary stream. And his 3rd this season. Assist on that goal, Chandler Stevenson and Jared McCann. Winterton battling for it down low. Shot goes wide there alongside Gustafsson. On the 11th shot of the game for Seattle, they have tied this one up. That is the first goal out on Gustafsson by a Kraken player in 4 Watch with Nordic periods. Here comes Seattle into the zone. We'll battle for it now down low. Faber. Battling for it down low with Brodin. Cleared out to center. Trennan. Backhands it into the Kraken zone. Now Evans behind the net. Evans to Larson here. Cleared out to center. Racing for it then is Marchment on the right side. Intercepted then by the Wild. And a puck is blown dead here. And I think it might have been for an offsides, maybe. But regardless of that, it is a 1-0 or a 1-1 game here with Eriksson Ek and Jordan Eberle with the goals. Face off here again now in the Minnesota zone. Won by Seattle. Dunn brings it in. Backhands it down low. Middleton cleared out to center. Puck will slide all the way up and out. Now Larson regroups here for the Kraken. Middleton now battling forward here with Marchment. Stolen back then by Kaprizov. Kaprizov here in the Minnesota end. Plays a puck to center. Spurgeon to Tarasenko. Cleared back down low into the Seattle end. Minnesota still with the puck. A shot. And it's blocked there as the one guy on Grubauer. Now Tarasenko clears it back behind the net. Seattle gets it back. Dunn. Behind the net to center. Kraken will try and play it the other way. Stevenson. Intercepted then by Larson as Kraken will hold the puck. Banked off the boards. Marchment moves it into the zone. Trying to deke around here now. Poke checked away then by Minnesota. Seattle trying to keep that one in. They will do so successfully. Lindgren to Montour. To Marchment, a shot. And it goes wide. Kept in though by Lindgren. Montour backhands it down low. Cleared all the way around and back out to the neutral zone. And Seattle will regroup. 11 minutes to go here in the second period. This game's going by quick. Eriksson Ek now battling for it behind the net over then for Spurgeon. Spurgeon to center. Eriksson Ek trying to bring that one into the zone. Boldy to the right side, Bogosian. At the point, Boyum a shot! And Grubauer just did like a sprawling save or something. I don't know if he fell. And that one went wide regardless. Here's a 3-on-2 the other way now for Seattle. Kakko into the zone. Pass over, a shot! And it goes wide. On, I think it was Neiman that went and made that shot. Now Kakko behind the net. Spins around Boyum. Cleared back up to the point. Wild battling forward here down low. It'll slide all the way back around and over then for Evans on the right side. Seattle's got it. Montour down low. Evans through the zone looking for options. Feeds it up to the point. Eberle to Neiman. Down low then Beniers battling for it. Thrown to the point. Mahura to the right side to Dunn. A shot. And it's tipped away. Now Mahura. Down low now for Eberle. Seattle with some pressure here in the Minnesota zone, not getting a shot on though. McCann to Mahura at the point, a shot gloved by Gustafsson. So Jordan Eberle with a power play goal from Chandler Stevenson, and Jared McCann makes it a 1-1 game here in Seattle. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe down below if you're new. We are trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. So anything is greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you so much. As we keep on grinding here with the commentary streams, we won't be live again until Thursday. But that's okay. And we'll be live again then on Monday. Haven't determined what I'll do Monday just yet. I don't like to do it way in advance. It's a week from now. But again, you guys know I love to look ahead to the streams and stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do. But glad to be here, as always, commentating with you guys. Doing that wonderful hockey. Showing off Jake O'Brien with Brantford, one of the top Seattle prospects, was invited to Team Canada's World Junior Selection Camp. And yeah, congrats to Jake O'Brien, one of the Seattle prospects who will play with Team Canada. That was announced today. Face-off here now won by Minnesota, cleared out to center. Racing for it then down low, Ogren trying to drop it back. Mahura behind the net now down low. Brodin fed up to the point to Boldy. A shot tipped in front. It's there on Grubauer. He poke checks it away. Now Evans here on the right side to Mahura. Minnesota gets it back. Here they come back into the zone. Sturm clears it down low. Grubauer out of his net to play it. Cleared around back then for Ogren. A shot on net is blocked. And now Shane Wright. Back down low. Kakko to the right side then to Wright. Here's Newman. Back out to center here. Minnesota will take it back the other way. Urov into the zone. Holds the puck with 8:40 left to go. Pass is intercepted then by Dunn. Dunn will clear all the way down the other way. And it's an icing. And it'll be back in the Seattle zone in no time. Showing off the Germany preliminary roster. Philip Grubauer made that roster alongside Lucas Reichel, Nico Sturm, Leon Draisaitl, and Tim Stützle alongside Moritz Seider as well. So Philip Grubauer also participating in the Winter Olympics. Face-off here now in the Seattle zone. Eberle cleared out to center. Now Spurgeon with the puck. Trying to bank that one down low. Tarasenko here on the right side. Vladimir Tarasenko pass in front. Jabbing at that puck. It'll go all the way back and out of the zone with 8 minutes to go. Kaprizov to Tarasenko. Tarasenko now to Spurgeon. Spurgeon in front. And it's tipped away there then by Seattle. Here they come the other way. Gaudreau dumping it down low into the zone. Fighting forward here in the corner. Wild do win the battle. Spurgeon to center. And it'll be an icing here against the Wild with 7:49 remaining. And there they give a Shout out to Cal Riley, who just drank a whole beer. He's wearing the Seattle Thirds, repping his Kraken merch. Catcher for the Seattle Mariners, for those who do not know. Hope the venue is finished in time for the Olympics. Yeah, me too, man. I hope it's done. It better be done. Kraken with the puck. Montour's shot goes back down low. Now Beniers, another chance, is denied. Rebound play is there and cleared back down low. Eberle fed up to the point. Backhanded down low behind the net. Beniers trying to poke that one forward. Lindgren to Beniers. To Montour. Montour to Eberle. Down low. Montour, what a chance! Is denied by Gustafson. And what a chance there for Montour in front. Really good puck movement by the Kraken. And they get some chances there on Philip Gustafson. Which is exactly what you need. Face-off coming here now inside of the Minnesota zone. The Kraken with their fair share of pressure here tonight. Face-off won then by the Wild. Bogosian now down low in the corner. Banked it off the boards then. And back out to center. Wild with the puck. Eriksson Ek brings it into the zone. Dekes around a Kraken player. Now Boldy pass in front is blocked by a Seattle stick. Boldy does get it back. Feeds it up to the point. Bogosian waits. Pass back then for Hunt. A shot is blocked. And now it'll slide back to the corner where Seattle will battle for that puck. Bogosian to Boldy. Boldy trying to deke in there as Tolvanen lost his edge. He does get that puck back over to the right side. Here comes the Kraken the other way. Tolvanen into the zone. Cleared back into the Minnesota end. Stevenson now down low battling for it. Hunt over then for Marchman, who makes that play perfectly. Here down low. Attempting to feed that one to the point. A whistle is blown. And I think we have a penalty. Grown to appreciate goaltenders even more now that my team is scraping deep with Husso and the other baby duck. Yeah, man. You really do appreciate those goalies when they aren't there for you. Minnesota penalty here coming up. Seattle will get their third power play of the night. Which apparently I forgot to turn this off, so they've been on the power play for the last couple minutes. Oops. My apologies, guys. It's Damon Hunt for holding the stick. And Seattle will get a power play. Shots are 17-15 in favor of the Wild, but the Kraken looking to make it a 2-1 game. Face-off won by Minnesota. They will dump it all the way down the other way. Grubauer comes up to play it. Now Dunn will move this one through the zone. Pass back then to McCann. McCann intercepted, and the Wild will hold that puck and take their time. Sturm will get it and clear it all the way down the other way. Played back then down low for Eberle. 6 minutes remaining here in the second period. We are tied up at 1. Beniers through the zone. Back then for McCann. Pass over is intercepted. Wild trying to jab that one out. Here they come the other way. It's Boldy shorthanded with the puck. It's tied up there by the Kraken. Stevenson gets it back. He's hit down low in the corner by Trennan. And Seattle does get it right back. Here's Beniers with speed. Halfway through the power play. Beniers back now to the corner. Will hold the puck. And they can't keep it in the zone. Wild will clear down the other way. Now with it is Jared McCann. McCann over for Montour. Montour drops it back. Tolvanen through the zone to Wright. Wright pass forward. It banks off a skate and back all the way out into Seattle territory. Johansson racing for it with speed. Nearly got to that puck first. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Marchman into the zone. Cleared back down low. They try and get that puck. It's Banked up in the air and back out to center. Here's a chance now for Minnesota. Trennan, 1-0. He's in! Saved by Grubauer. What a stop. He plays it forward now. And here comes Seattle. One last chance the other way on the power play. Right to Marchment. He gets tied up there. Pass up to the point, and nobody is there. That will do it for the Seattle power play. Kraken bank it off the boards and clear it back into the Minnesota end. Brodin battling for it down low. Intercepted in front. And a big chance there for Winterton is denied. Here's Marchment now battling for it down low. Seattle clears now behind the net. Winterton skating it down low, looking for options. Gets knocked down to the ground by Faber. Puck goes now behind the net to the corner as Seattle still trying to keep that one in. This fourth line with a lot of energy tonight. Winterton gets it back. Drops it back then for the Kraken to regroup. Puck is dumped back into the Minnesota end. Now Faber battling for it with Cartier. Gaudreau in the corner. Battling for that puck. Cartier tries to put it through his legs. And Gaudreau still trying to keep that one in. And he can't do so. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third period. We are tied at 1. Brodin. Pass to center. It's intercepted then by the Kraken. McCann. Over then for Beniers, a shot and a save there by Gustafsson. And a puck is cleared back out to center ice. Intercepted there by Tarasenko, who forced a turnover there on the Kraken. Now played back down low. Seattle clears out to center. Wild get it back. They will bank it back down low here to regroup. Shots are 18-14. Boyum dumps it down low. Johansson. Pass center then to Boldy. Boldy to Bogosian. A shot. And blocked there in front as Seattle will take it back the other way. Beniers dumps it into the zone. Bogosian trying to steal that one back. And a near centering pass there for Kakko. Kraken still have the puck. Fed up to the point. Kept in then by Mahura. Now down low battling forward is Wright. Wright pass in front. And Minnesota steals it before anything can get bad. Neiman, what a hold, and it amounts to nothing. Man, just like a lot of like sloppy hockey, back and forth hockey. Not a ton of chances recently. And they keep taking away Seattle shots. Lead pass here into the Kraken zone. Grubauer steals it back then down low. Seattle with the puck now to center. Racing for it with speed is Cartier. And it won't matter because it's an icing against the Kraken. So less than 2 minutes to go here in the second period. It's still 1-1. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. It'd be greatly appreciated. Trying to get to 4,000 subs. Trennan with a nice chance there on the breakaway. It was denied by Grubauer. He almost got it 5-hole. Face off here now again in the Seattle zone. As they obviously don't do commercial breaks after face-offs like that. Here in the Kraken zone. Face-off is won then by Seattle. Evans banks it back off the boards then down low. Cartier. Fed back out to center. Tarasenko. Clears it into the zone. Now Kaprizov battling for it. Eriksson pass in front is denied. Kaprizov holds the puck. Feeds it up to the point. A shot. And it goes wide. Rebound chances there. And Tarasenko tried putting it away. And he couldn't do so either. Here come the Kraken now the other way. Minnesota intercepts it now at their blue line. And they'll take it back to their own zone as we head into the final minute of play in the second period. Spurgeon sends a pass back over then for Middleton. Back to Spurgeon. He'll clear it off the boards. Sturm into the zone. A shot tipped by Kaprizov. And down low behind the net now. Kirill Kaprizov trying to clear that one forward. Marchment now centers it. 2-on-2 the other way. Into the zone. A shot. And a chance there from Cadden goes wide. Or sorry, Tolvanen goes wide and out of play. And Seattle just right there with 34 seconds to go. Shots are 19-13, so Minnesota with the vast majority of chances, but Seattle is getting their opportunities. They're just not getting shots on goal. That's been the biggest issue so far tonight with Minnesota. All right. Oh, 34 seconds to go here. I love how they went to commercial with 34 seconds just to go to another commercial in literally like 10, in literally 30 seconds. Oh, look at the Christmas theme there in Seattle. Ain't that nice? Face-off coming here now in the Minnesota zone. We're about to hit 1,000 views for this stream. Thank you guys so much. And we still have another period to play. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Sorry, loading up my stream here again. I went to Snapchat really quick. Face-off here now in the Minnesota zone, won by the Wild. They will clear out to center. Trennan tries getting that one through. 20 seconds left now. Lindgren, one last push, and it's cleared back into the Seattle bench. As Lindgren tried to hit one of his teammates, which is nice. And they give that puck to a nice little fan who is there on the bench. Wearing a Montour jersey, he looks thrilled. You love moments like that. Face off here now at center ice with 20 seconds to go. One back then by Minnesota. Here's Boldy now into the zone. Boldy back down low. Puck is gloved by Grubauer as it slides into him. And a whistle is blown. "12 seconds left. Only 2 goals total so far tonight. We can head into the third period with a very interesting game. Face off here in the Seattle zone with 12 seconds to go. It's one back then by the Kraken. Here's Gaudreau. Banks it off the boards here, back out to center. Brodin battling for it. Cleared back then to Stevenson. 3 seconds, 2-1. Shot into the chest of Gustafsson. And that will do it here for period number 2. Shots were 19-14 in that second period as we head into the third period with a tied hockey game. Goals were scored by Joel Eriksson-Ek and Jordan Eberle. And we head into the third period with things looking very interesting. And that being said, folks, it is intermission time. Go get a snack, go get a drink. Do what you got to do. We will be back for the start of the third period momentarily. And that being said, I will take this time to do my Watch with Nordic score sheets. Forgot I had a quiz tonight. I'll do that here real quick, too. I'll do that quiz first, actually. LA Kings defeat the Mammoth. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We are trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Pull up the stream here real quick on my computer while I do this quiz. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Well, it's actually almost midnight here on the East Coast. Game has been solid. What's up, Hako Slaughter? How you doing, man? What I think is going on with the Hawks last 10. So Chicago, I think we're seeing what they realistically are. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think they were as good as they've been. I don't know if they're as bad as they've been, though. Honestly, I think that we're seeing Chicago fall back down to earth, but honestly, I think that's okay. Overall, they've taken a step, in my opinion, and you just got to hope that that success will be a big part in why maybe they go into the offseason and make some actually really big moves and maybe not try and like draft high. Maybe they try and, go out and sign a big free agent or something like that. Who knows? I think, again, I think Chicago, the team we saw this past month, maybe they're not as good as that team, but they may be taking a step here, though, regardless. I just think, like, again, like, doesn't help, too. They've been on the road for that. They did play some really good teams. So, we'll see. All right. They'll even out, but that was a brutal road trip. Yeah, I think they might even out. That could be possible, but yeah, it was a really bad road trip overall. So there's really no denying that. I think they're better than that team, though. I will say that. I think they're much better than that team that we saw. That is Erickson X's first goal in a commentary stream tonight. I watched them get belt to ass, but they were cooked by the end of the... Yeah, they were cooked by the end of the second. I mean, like, the Ducks had, like, 17... They had, like, 50 shots. It was, like, actually insane. Like, how like, just, like... And, like, Anaheim literally just went, like, belt to ass on them. Like, it was literally insane. Looks like Husso might have found his footing with Anaheim. Not a bad last couple of games other than the stinker against Utah. I will say this, though. He only faced, like, 14 shots on Sunday, yesterday. But I won't disagree. He's been good. He's been better than what he was last year, and I think Seattle should be very happy with that. Eberle assisted by Stevenson. Just updating the all-time scoring sheet here really quick. Was proud of Husso. I was there for the Utah disaster. Oh, man, that sucks. But hey, you got to be there for the big losses, so the big wins mean even more. That's what I always say. All the games that I've been to, it's never really been a blowout. It's always been close. Shots are 19-14. I got that right. You think he can compete with Mrazek for backup when both goalies return? I think they'll probably just send Husso down. I mean, again, like there is a possibility. Like I'm not going to sit here and say that can't happen, but I think they'll probably just end up sending Husso back down. I'm not gonna lie. Probably missing the 20th because tickets got scooped up faster than the Christmas game. What's on the 20th? Who do they play on the 20th? Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. We've already crossed over to 1,200 views in this stream tonight. And I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you all so much. It really does mean a lot. Our most popular stream is our most popular stream this season stands at 1,904 views. So maybe we can break that record here tonight. Need the Kraken to win for my 10 liker to hit. Ooh, good luck, man. How much you got on that? Honestly, might be people jumping on the Orange County wagon. Could be. Blue Jackets come to Anaheim. Fantilli versus Carlson? That'd be sick. Was in Arizona for Thanksgiving. Grab yourself a third alternate running Coyote sweater. Ooh. Lucky you. I would love to have one of those. I would love to have one of those. Lucky you, man. So we will be live on Thursday next for Hurricanes versus Capitals, followed by Avalanche versus Panthers. Kraken or not, I think it's possible. I said Minnesota, but like Seattle's right up there with them. And again, it's a 1-1 hockey game. This could go either way, honestly. This could really go either way. So, yeah, Kraken definitely can win it. It's possible. Who we got? I got Minnesota. I think Minnesota gets the win. But Seattle is at home. So, maybe. Home advantage does help. It definitely does play a factor. .326 left to go in the, or about 5 minutes until the start of the third period. All right. Last commercial break here. Shots are 19-14. Going over some of the stats here in this game tonight. Face-off percentage is still in Seattle's favor, 56.3. Power plays, Minnesota 0 for 3. Seattle 1 for 3. Hits 18-11 in favor of the Wild. Block shots are tied at 13 per. Giveaways 11-7. Takeaways are tied at 2. And again, this is the first of 3 meetings this season. These teams will play once in January and then again in April as well. Never watched NHL. Who do you think wins this? I think the Wild get the win. Honestly, I think Minnesota will win the game. All right. Sorry about that. Just pulling up something real quick. In regular time or overtime? I hope regulation, but overtime I wouldn't mind. Actually, you know what? Let's get some overtime in here. Let's get 2 more goals in this third period. Both of them, one of them from each team, and then an overtime. I would love that. I would love that. All right, almost ready for the start of the third period here, live from Seattle. Shots are 19-14 at the end of 40 minutes of play. After tonight, tomorrow on Tuesday, there will be 10 games in the NHL. Seattle will play next on Wednesday against the Kings. Minnesota will play on Thursday against the Dallas Stars, so they will head back home and take on the Stars. And here we go. Let's get ready for the start of the third period here in this game from Seattle. Second period recap. Goals were scored by Joel Eriksson Ek and Jordan Eberle here. As we get ready for the start of the third period in just a moment, as they're doing the pregame intros and stuff, and talks about some talk about some stats here is the broadcast crew. There's Bowie. What do we think about Bowie? Bowie's a very interesting mascot, I must say. Need the Wild to win and lock in my parlay. Please, for the love of F, let them win. Let's see what happens, bro. Good luck to you. Man, JT Brown's hair is looking so sick. Wild going to get on scoring streak to take over the game. I don't trust the Krakens. Yeah, Seattle has lost their last few. Both teams looking to come back from a win after Minnesota's loss in Vancouver last night. Or not last night, Saturday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you are new to the channel and you like what you see, we do these live commentary streams every single week for all 32 teams. So be sure to subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. Here we go. Third period of Seattle and Minnesota. And we are underway. Face-off is won back here into the Seattle zone as the Kraken will handle the puck. Cleared back down low and all the way into the Minnesota zone for a icing against the Kraken. About to hit 1,500 views for the second time this season in a stream. Thank you guys so much. This is now the second most popular stream we have done this season. Face off here now in the Seattle zone. Won by the Kraken. Clear now down low, back out to center. Minnesota gets it back. Kaprizov intercepted there by the Kraken. Shot in then on Gustafsson is swiftly denied. Now battling forward here in the corner is McCann alongside Faber. Minnesota trying to clear. Kaprizov gets it back here over then for Brodin, who moves it into the zone. Brodin pass forward, and there's nobody there in front. Tarasenko on the right side, pass in front, intercepted there by the Kraken. Eberle through the zone will dump that one in. Minnesota here will regroup as we're past the first minute. Now Middleton through the zone. Seattle gets it back. Stevenson now on the right side. Seattle trying to play that one forward now down low. Stevenson battling forward alongside Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek here now regroups down low in the Minnesota zone as the Wild trying to get some offensive zone time, but Seattle keeps hemming them in. Puck goes up in the air and out of play. A minute and a half in. So only one shot so far. It's from the Kraken. Again, the Wild, we know that they can score. They got guys like Kaprizov and Boldy who are very dynamic in moving the puck. Don't count the Kraken out, though. They love to play that sneaky underdog style. It's the way they love to play. Face off here now in the Seattle zone. Beniers versus Hartman. Kraken win the draw. Cleared back out to center. Racing for it then with speed is Neiman. And it's cleared back into the Minnesota zone. Just became a hockey fan. Decided to root for Minnesota. Nice, man. That's awesome. Welcome to hockey, bro. Here's Kaprizov now to Hartman. Hartman into the zone. Tries dropping it back. Kaprizov here on the right side. Fed up to the point. He'll take it back now down low. Tarasenko. Wraparound play. Fools it up to the point. Boyum a shot. Blocked in front. Rebounds there. Saved by Grubauer. And taken back then by the Kraken. Here they come the other way. 4-on-2 into the zone. Larson loses the puck. And it's blown dead for offsides. Of course. It wouldn't be a Seattle game without that happening. That's the most Kraken thing I've ever heard. Tied 1-1. Shots are 20-15 now as they get a shot on goal. Mahura to the right side, banked into the Minnesota zone. Bogosian battling forward with the Kraken. Intercepted there by the Wild. Here's Ogren, 2-on-2 the other way. Ogren, a shot! And it deflects up in the air and back down low. Now behind the net. Banked off the boards now down low. Trying to poke check that one ahead. Kakko trying to clear this one out to center. Nudged out to the neutral zone now as Sturm regroups to Boyum. Cleared back into the Seattle end. Grubauer. Down low then over for Mahura, who clears it out to center. Right. Back over then for Neiman, who dumps that one down low. Battling forward here once again. Ogren moves it through center. Liam Ogren now dumps it into the zone. Battling forward here in the corner. Trennan feeds it in front. There's nobody there. And here come the Kraken the other way. 2-on-2. Eberle. Pass to Beniers. Back to Eberle. In front. He gets tied up too much and can't get a clear shot on. Seattle can't keep it in the zone. Beniers gets it back, though. He'll skate it around in the neutral zone. To Montour. Montour brings it in. He gets poke checked away, trying to move it to the front. As a collision there in front of the net. And here come the Wild again the other way. Boldy in all alone. Spinorama move. Pass in front. And nobody's there. Another chance for Brodin. Battling forward with Grubauer. And he makes the save. Close one. Nice play by Brodin to Spinorama move and try and get that one in on Grubauer. But didn't have that much room at the end of it. Ended up getting it just on the low pad. But the rebound there from Brodin. And Grubauer has stopped up to this point now. 19 of 20 unless they add those shots on. Kraken have the puck. They'll clear out to center. Marchment into the zone. Drops it back. Stevenson saved by Gustafsson now down low. Yurov battling forward here. Now Tarasenko picks it back up. He'll bank it out to center ice. Seattle has it. Lead pass ahead now to Marchment, who brings it into the zone, deking around to center, and intercepted then by the Wild. Minnesota, I would argue, is the better team. Kaprizov to Tarasenko. Pass goes out of the zone, and now Minnesota will be forced to regroup. Spurgeon for Kaprizov. Kaprizov down the right side. Fed pat back in front for Middleton. Incepted and save there by Grubauer. What a stop as Trennan looks to the sky. My words overlapping themselves. We'll see if there is one. There might be. There might not be. We'll have to find out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like the stream if you're new. It helps out bringing more people in here. I would really appreciate it. Boldy, a shot off of Grubauer. Puck goes up in the air and back out of play with 15:22 remaining. Grubauer has made some great saves tonight. There's definitely no doubt about that. Shots are 22-16 here in favor of Minnesota. And Grubauer, who in Watch with Nordic Games has a .892 save percentage. That number will definitely be better by the end of the night. Bogosian at the point. Hunt, a shot is blocked by a Kraken. Now Montour out to center. And it's an icing, as Seattle could not pick up that puck in time. You're betting who's winning? I am saying Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins, in my opinion. Need Minnesota to win to lock in your plus 2,000 parlay. Ooh, good luck, bro. You're one goal away from winning all that money or one goal away from losing all that money. Here's Eriksson now. Against Beniers. Face-off one now by the Minnesota Wild. Battling forward here now. Down low in the corner. Eriksson trying to get that one free. Montour picks it up here down low. Cleared out to center. Wild keeping in a shot. And it's wide of Grubauer. Eriksson now down low. Picked back up then by Karchi on the right side. Here comes Seattle now the other way. Montour with some speed. Backhands it down low. Cleared into the Minnesota zone. Now Hunt will bank it off the boards. Kept in, though, by Seattle. A shot goes wide. Here's Maher now to the point. A shot! And that one goes wide again as well. A lot of shots just not hitting the net. Thank you, Great Show Gator. I appreciate it. Minnesota clears it out to center. Johansson will get that one down low. Parlay is for $4 million? Jesus, Sean. Good luck, bro. Oh, my Lord. Don't spam it in the chat. We see it. Good luck, Sean. You wanna split some of that money if Seattle wins? Here's Neiman, a shot save. Rebound in front there for Gustafsson, and that one is kicked away now down low. Here's Hartman on the right side, stolen back then by Neiman. I think Minnesota wins. Here's Ogren, dumping it into the Seattle zone. Trying to battle for that one now behind the net. Puck goes down low then for Riker Evans. Evans over then for Shane Wright. Right over then for Eberle. Eberle into the zone. Shoots it. And it goes wide of Gustafsson there as well. Kraken with the puck. And I think we have hand pass. Not a penalty. Yeah, $4 million. I want to know what I want to know what's on your parlay. I don't know if I believe that, but we'll see. Had hella money lines today. Oh, well, yeah, I believe that. Chargers almost sold you? Oh, yeah. They did. They almost did, didn't they? Did they beat the Eagles? Sorry, I haven't looked at football that much today. Did they beat the Eagles? Overtime. Oh, good. Yeah, man. You were probably on the edge of your seat. Wild score incoming. We'll see, bro. In commercial break right now, by the way. $13:27 left to go. Yeah, wow. Damn. Yeah, I just checked. How much is left before the game's end? We have 13 minutes and 27 seconds. Sold on Chargers at a loss. Yeah, I thought like after the Eagles came in and got that 16th, I thought maybe. He got picked in the end zone, of fucking course. Of course. By the way, I am from Philly, so I'm kind of a Birds fan, but I don't really watch it that much. I'm a big hockey and baseball guy more, but it is funny to sometimes see my Eagles just implode. Of course, he got picked off at the end zone. Lost out on 900. Damn, bro. You just got to stick with it, man. Got to have faith. Never cash out. Yeah, that's my biggest non-better advice. All right. Do I watch the NBA? Probably more than the NFL, but not really. I follow it, though. OKC's been insane. Here's Spurgeon now through the neutral zone, clearing it into the Seattle end. Puck goes up in the air. Now Kaprizov battling forward here on the right side. Bank back up then for Eberle. Eberle here trying to get this one out to center. Eberle down low. In the corner then for Tolvanen. Picked off 5 times, of course. And whistle is blown as puck, I think, went out of play. Middleton, I think, took an injury. Oof. That's not good. Wild about to blow this game right open. We'll see, man. We will see. .12:56 left to go in the third period. Shots are 24-17. Face-off in the Seattle zone. Won by the Wild. Boyum now behind the net to Bogosian. Bogosian off the boards. Cleared out to center. Wild can't get the pass entirely, and now Seattle regroups here in their own end. Mahura played forward then. Now as Shane Wright brings it into the zone. Wright trying to get it to center. Kakko drops it back. Over then for Wright. Wright down the right side. Pass in front is blocked by Boyum. And Seattle keeps it in. Down low here in the corner. Yeah, there's always upsets in the NHL. Now Bogosian battling forward here in the corner. And puck goes up and out of play. OKC has ruined the NBA this year by making it obvious they win the championship again. Yeah, I mean, we'll see again. Like, you never know. There's always upsets. But yeah, OKC's been insane. I saw, I forget, whoever has the record for 73 wins in a season. I remember the person who was like the coach or a player during that year where that team won 73 games. They were asked if OKC could break the record, and he was like, 73 years took years off my life. Or 73 wins took years off my life or something like that. Here's Boldy now moving it into the Seattle zone. Brodin will drop it back as Minnesota regroups. I know, LeBlanc. Wait till the game's over. Cleared back into the Seattle end. Lindgren banks it off the boards. And it goes in! What just happened? Marcus Johansson. And an unlucky bounce there for Seattle, it appears. And the Wild are ahead 2-1. What just happened? All of a sudden, the puck's in the corner. It banked off the boards. Oh, my goodness. What a screen by Joel Eriksson. I think that might have been tipped in front by Johansson. It was. What a play. Marcus Johansson with the go-ahead goal. It's 2-1 Minnesota. Johansson from Joel Eriksson makes it a 2-1 lead for the Wild here with 11:40 left to go. Puck is dumped back into the Minnesota zone. Cartier, a shot. And did I rebound in front? They score! Tie game! Oh my goodness! The fourth line gets it done right away. Ty Cartier. We are tied at 2. What a play by Ty Cartier. John Hines is doing this. And they're going to challenge this, it looks like. Oh, no, they're calling it back. No goal. No goal. It looks like Cartier's stick was above the crossbar. Let's see this play. Shot on net there, denied by Gustafsson. Cartier, yeah, he interferes with that with his stick. So when you use your stick to hit the goal, to hit the puck into the net, if your stick is above the crossbar to hit the puck in, it is no goal. So Minnesota gets bailed out there. It was a really nice play if that could have connected itself, but it obviously did not. And as a result, it's back to a 2-1 game just like that. Yep, no goal. Confirmed by the refs. About to have a stroke if the Wild don't win. Well, at least that goal was called back, so you guys went from panicking to celebrating. Some of you did. Some of you did. Yeah, I didn't even realize it on the play. I just commentated what I saw. But yeah, that is most definitely above the net. So therefore, that is no goal. All right, face-off coming here now in the Minnesota zone. Face-off won then by the Wild. Faber. Battling for it on the right side. Eric's neck banks it off the boards back down low. Grubauer comes out of enough to play it. Boldy battling for it on the right side. Cartier to center. Kept in by Minnesota. Down low, a shot. And that one is blocked in front now as Gaudreau picks it up then for Seattle. 11:15 left to go here in the third period. Shots are 25-18. The Wild have a 2-1 lead. Montour deking it into the zone. Battling for it now with Kaprizov. Banked off the boards. Kaprizov racing for it with speed. Battling for it now down low in the corner. And Seattle will get it back here in their own end. Puck is cleared back out to center. And a whistle is blown here, I think, for a offsides with 10:46 left to go. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you're new. We do these live commentary streams every single week. Does Seattle have a chance? Oh, yeah, definitely. There's still 10 minutes left. Face off here now in the Seattle zone. Hunt to the right side, banked off the boards and back into the Kraken zone. Beniers tries bringing it back to center. Beniers now brings it into the zone. Battling forward here in the corner. Hunt fighting for that puck with 10:19 to go. Trennan, 3-on-2 now for Minnesota. Ogren with speed, taking it past Evans. He gets tied up by him, moves it back up to the point. Ogren a shot, and that one is blocked. Halfway through the third period, 10 minutes to go. It's a 2-1 lead for Minnesota. Off the boards now to Mahura. Mahura trying to clear out the center. Here comes Seattle now the other way. And Evans tried to battle for that puck. Now Boyum to Bogosian. Bogosian banks off the boards now to Boyum. Pass to center. Here's Marcus Johansson. Back then for Eriksson Ek, a shot. And that one is blocked in front. And Seattle picks it back up the other way. 3-on-2. Kraken through the zone. Taking it in on his right. Drop back, a shot. And it goes wide. Battling forward here now on the bench side. Back now behind the Minnesota net. Pass in front. Right! Denied by Gustafsson. Not even got on net. Here's Kakko to the point. Montour. Backhands it now down low. A shot. And into the chest of Gustafsson. It comes back out, though, to the neutral zone. And Seattle will regroup. Here's Montour. Drops it back. A shot. And another chance goes wide. Brodin now battling forward alongside Marchment. Down low, Tolvanen. Feeds it up to the point. Montour waits. Shoots it. Tipped in front. And back down low. Puck is cleared back into the Seattle zone. Every time I say shot, you unalive a little. That's funny. Here's Marchment now moving it into the zone. Battling forward here in the corner. Beniers. Thrown up to the point. Tolvanen. To Marchment. Marchment waits. Drops it back. Montour. Played back over then for Tolvanen. Down low then Stevenson, a shot off the pad of Gustafsson, and Minnesota will clear out to center. And the Seattle pressure is starting to build up here more and more in this third period. Gaudreau drops it back for Larson. Larson will dump it into the Minnesota zone, but it's blown dead for an offsides. And Nico Sturm is down on the ice. And something happened to him. Hopefully he's okay. It's been one of those nights. 7:36 left to go. It's 2-1 Minnesota. Johansson from Eriksson Ek. And the Wild lead by a goal. Can you explain to me why fighting is allowed in the NHL? Well, it's been a part of the NHL for forever. And they allow it. However, when you fight, you get a 5-minute major penalty. Which keeps you out of the game for 5 minutes, of course. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's more. Depending on the circumstance. But, yeah, fighting has been in the game for forever. I don't really know why it's still allowed because of the fans. And it's just it's been a part of the game for a long time. But you can fight, but there's repercussions to it if you do. Kraken still playing better in your opinion? I mean, they're getting shots because they're not pussies. That's a good response. That's a good response to that. Because why not? Yeah, exactly. That's another good one as well. I mean, you look at other sports. Fighting is allowed because it's the only way Canadians get steam off. Yeah, that's yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Approaching 2,500 views for the second time ever in a live stream. Thank you guys so much. This has been an incredible night. I think because they're not pussies. Yeah, I think that's got to be it. That's got to be the winner. You don't see it as much as you used to anymore, though. You do see, like, with a lot of fighters, they tend to get CTE, and they have a lot more concussions. There's not a lot of fighters anymore, but there still are. Like, again, if there's a big hit, for example, there was one earlier in this game, you will have to answer the bell for it no matter who you are. Face-off here now won by the Wild. Seattle intercepts it. A shot goes off of Gustafsson and back off the right side. Here come the Wild through the zone. Trennan dumps it into the Seattle end. Grubauer banks it off the boards. Seattle will try and gain it back here and keep the pressure on. Now Trennan tries feeding a pass in front. Wild fan checking in from south of the border. Nice. Welcome, man. Here's Eberle. Played back down low behind the net, then to Evans. Evans battling for it now with Spurgeon. Played back over then for Beniers. Banked off the boards here now over for Trennan. Trennan into the zone. A shot. Saved by Grubauer. And now down low, Mahura picks up the puck. Why do I think Minnesota is better? Just because they've looked better in this game. They've got more shots on goal. They've been pressuring more in the Seattle zone. Kraken have gotten their chances, though. Here's Yurov. At the point. Faber. A shot. And that one is wide. Now Tarasenko down low. Plays it in front then for Yurov. Yurov looking for options. 6.5 minutes to go here now in this third period. Faber moves in. Shoots it. Save. And he gets the puck right back. Played back up to the point now by Brodin. Brodin to Kaprizov. Gets tied up by multiple Kraken players and cleared back out to center. Yeah, Minnesota just is better too. They're better in the standings. Kaprizov to Urov. Banks it back into the Seattle zone. 6 minutes to go here in the third period. Shots are 25-22. Eriksson now battling for it down low in the corner. Kaprizov on the right side, cleared out to center. Kaprizov brings it in. Pass over, a shot! And it goes up and out of play. As Minnesota is getting the pressure. But nobody can seem to find the back of the net since that last goal. And 5.5 minutes to go here in regulation. Minnesota with a 2-1 lead. Scoreboard check too, yeah. Should you bet $50 on Seattle? No. No. I wouldn't, at least. I wouldn't. If you don't like money. Well, yeah, that's true. Just bet Wild minus 1.5. Good, that's the right way to go. Just burn it. Yeah, just burn your money, honestly. Five and a half minutes to go. Shots are 25-22. Looking at the goaltender stats here so far tonight, you see Philip Gustafsson, 21 saves on 22 shots, .955 save percentage. Philip Grubauer, 23 saves on 25 shots, a .920. Locking in on Minnesota. Oh, yeah. Donation to the sports book. Literally. I could use that money better than the sports book. Nah, I'm kidding. Just playing. I forgot to update this earlier. We did get a donation this stream. All right. Youth Sports Night. That's cool. Seattle's got some cool themes. (2-1) Minnesota here with 5:35 to go in the third period. Keep an eye out for Philip Grubauer. It likely won't happen yet, but soon. They will pull him for an extra attacker. Face-off won by the Kraken. Done. To center now to right. Cleared into the Minnesota zone. Now battling forward here in the corner. Played back then for Brodin on the right side. Minnesota cleared to center. Grubauer plays it off the boards on the right side as Seattle will try and move it the other way. Hopefully they can get into the zone for a line change. Down low now, Kaprizov fighting alongside Kakko. At the point now, Dunn. Down low, pass in front. And they can't get the shot off. As we head to the last 5 minutes of regulation. Minnesota with the puck. 3-on-2 the other way. Kaprizov into the zone. And the pass is too far ahead. Kaprizov now, a pass is blocked in front. Here comes Gaudreau. Gaudreau backhands it down low. Now Spurgeon battling for it behind the net. Over then for Tarasenko. Tarasenko behind the Minnesota net. Here comes Tarasenko through center. Blocked off there by Dunn. Cleared out to center ice. Minnesota dumps it right back in. Montour now in the Seattle zone to Lindgren. Lindgren to Eberle. Seattle moving it through the zone. Here's Beniers with some room to center, a shot. Save by Gustafsson. Cleared back out of the zone then by the Wild. Down to 4 minutes. Beniers now regrouping in the Seattle end. Shots are 26-24. What happens if it's tied? It will go to overtime. Back down low on the right side. Boyum trying to clear it out of the zone. Now Trennan. Move to center here as Ogren battles forward as well. Trennan down low. We'll bank that one back around behind the net now over for Johansson. Boyum. Cleared around now behind the net. Seattle will steal it back and get it out to center. Now Bogosian regroups with the puck. To Trennan. 3 minutes to go here now in regulation. Puck will slide in just wide of Grubauer. Now Mahura battling forward with Ogren on the right side. At the point, Tarasenko a shot, and that one is blocked. Here's Tolvanen now down low. Eli Tolvanen moves it through the zone back to right. Shane Wright here now regroups in his own end. Over then for Kakko, who dumps it into the zone. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the third period. Keep an eye out for Grubauer, who will go to the bench. Done. Banked off the boards. Seattle moving it through neutral. They clear it into the Minnesota end. Faber battling for it. He'll try and clear, and Minnesota does get it out. Two minutes left to play. Puck goes into the Seattle zone, or the Minnesota zone, sorry. Spurgeon off the wall, then the Boldy, intercepted there by Beniers. Beniers on the right side. Back then for Dunn. 2 minutes to go here in the third period. Dunn holds the puck to Beniers. Poke checked off the boards back to center. And here goes Grubauer. Empty net here now for Seattle. Eberle through the zone, dumps it in. Minnesota gets it, clears it the other way. Seattle does get it right back. A minute and a half to go here in the third period. Wild with a 2-0 lead. Battling forward here in the corner. Beniers is tied up with Bogosian. Puck is still tied up here down low as the clock continues to run down. Finally, it comes free. Kaprizov backhands all the way down the other way and into the empty net. An empty net goal for Kirill Kaprizov from the other end of the zone. With a minute 15 left, it's 3-1 Minnesota. And there you go. That should be wraps for this one, folks. I'm sorry to the guy who bet $4 million or whatever. And Kirill Kaprizov, his 18th goal of the season. An empty net goal, and it's 3-1 Minnesota. With a minute 15 left to go here now in the third period. Face-off coming now again here at center ice. Drop back then to Evans. Grubauer will pull once again, so the empty net will stay empty here now down low. Faber banks it off the boards. Back out to center. Wild get it back. Here again now, a shot and into the empty net once again. It's 4-1. Two empty netter goals here now for Minnesota. Kaprizov and Tarasenko get the empty net goals. And now it's a 3-goal lead with 1 minute remaining here in regulation. And again, folks, that should pretty much do it. I'm not going to lie. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this stream. I really appreciate it. This has been the best stream of the year so far. If you're new, I'd love it if you would subscribe. We're trying to get to 4,000 subs by the end of 2025. Face off here now at center ice with the last minute of play. And the Wild, after a loss in Vancouver, they will get back into the winning ways. Shot from the point there denied by Gustafsson. As time continues to wind down. Kraken into the zone in front. Beniers a shot. And it goes wide. Now battling forward here down low. Minnesota gets it back. Trennan. Played over then to center. Trennan will get it in there with 30 seconds to go. Puck goes back down low to the corner. Now Hartman. Ryan Hartman. Battling forward here now on the right side as he'll bring it back into his own zone with 15 seconds to go. Seattle will play LA on Wednesday at home. Minnesota will go back home and play Dallas. Shot their glove saved by Grubauer with 5 seconds left. And that will do it. Final score, Minnesota 4 and Seattle 1. Another win for the Minnesota Wild here tonight. And a 4-1 final here from Seattle. And in the second time these two teams have played each other in a live commentary stream, Minnesota gets the second win once again. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Will I be live tomorrow? I will be live on Thursday next. So Thursday we'll be doing Carolina, Washington, and Avalanche, Florida. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm going to go get some sleep now, and I will see you